Are we live? Okay, it looks like we're live. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Quad's Repass. I wish I knew her last name, but I guess we'll just call her by her ex-husband's last name, Little, because she matters very little to this show at this point. I'd like to start this repass off with a little ditty. You've lost the love of your castmates, all of the love of your castmates. And then they told you, Heifer, get gone, gone, gone. And it's all gone wrong. And them checks ain't long no more. Yeah. I said no more. Yeah. Oh God, why'd you think that icon was Buffy? Well, she is iconic. This is our co-host Aaron, but if anybody wants to shimmy on in, the link is in the chat. This is an open forum repass. So if anybody wants to come in and speak on Quad and let their feelings be known, you can come in and put it on the altar, honey. We gonna send Quad off. She was as Carlos King liked to call her, a breakout star. So we're gonna give her a breakout finish. Richie, how are you feeling about Miss Quad, Miss Quad?
I wanted to say goodbye, Quad. It's unfortunate that you didn't see the ending coming, with Big T or Sweet T or whatever her name was. She, got your man. She lives in your house. She's playing in your hamper. She has your friends. Now she has your spot on the show. Someone who is so, what is the word? Omnipotent. You didn't see that coming. It's astounding. And you let Phaedra finish you off. I would have never thought that you would have fell for the okie doke. But here we are. It's, sad to see you go.
And also, you know what? Now that you brought up Phaedra, this is yet another woman Phaedra has thrown up under the bus. Angela Stanton tried to tell us. I'm telling you, we might have to read and revisit that book because Quad fell for the okie doke. Quad got by Phaedra. I'm sorry, if I see Phaedra coming, all I'm doing is I'm picking up my left foot, then I'm picking up my right. I'm picking up my left foot, I'm picking up my right. I'm running as fast as I can. I'm running. I'm hiding my social security card and I'm running.
Got beat at her own game, playing people against each other and playing on people's sympathies. She didn't see Phaedra coming. Like Heavenly said, she stopped speaking to her because she thought she had Phaedra to play off of, I guess. And Phaedra even changed her flight, that was vicious.
Phaedra said, I'm getting all the way over here. Phaedra said, I'm out of frame. Phaedra was completely and utterly out of frame. But also, let's talk about Heiferly. Now, Heiferly, you want to say, Quad used me. Quad used me. You used each other. Because Heiferly, no one likes you because you are a horrible being. You are a soiled soul. You are a foul spirit. You are the enemy. You are. I mean, I don't know who's more sadistic than a dentist. They talked about that in Little Shop of Horrors. Come on now. Come on.
And she turned on her so fast at the table. I couldn't believe it. Someone you call your sister. But Heavenly's still a heavy drinker. Remember that,
I mean, she got that. She got her stomach stapled, but yeah, that booze will keep the weight on. Rich the Fish, what are your words for Quad the fraud. What are your goodbyes?
Not Quad the Pro. Hey, Alex, and hey, everyone else. I'm calling you guys
Hey
all the
there.
way from Toronto, Canada. And I just wanted to tell you guys that I really enjoy the show. I really enjoy what Alex's opinion is on most of these people. But I will say this. Quad is a damn fool. Quad looked like an idiot jumping out of a casket for 2 coins. Everyone knows Quad does not get paid a whole salary. That's why she was negotiating her check. And Quad need. I'm so glad that she got kicked off the show. She was bringing nothing to the show. Your divorce with Greg is over and you have no storyline. I would be so worried working with Quad and Phaedra. You know, Phaedra will tell a lie in a heartbeat. Phaedra will accuse you of lying. Quad will accuse you of being a thief, a coke snorter. So who would want to work with people like this? This girl was a health hazard to the rest of the cast, and I'm so glad that they got rid of her. Now, who needs their feet put on fire is Jackie. I don't know if you guys know this about know this about Jackie or not, but Jackie is ignorant behind, has been talking all kinds of bullshit about black women. She was talking about how black women cry wolf, and y'all know how black women they just keep on ranting and moaning. No, Buffy, if you guys have watched her life, was talking about how she brought this up to producers too. That it was very triggering for her to hear things that Jackie was telling to her patients about how black women cry the wolves, and how Jackie actually had a sister or an aunt that passed away from neglect because she had some kind of pain in her chest or something. But the doctor, who was also a black gynecologist or whoever helps with those kind of things, I'm not a woman, so I'm not too sure what that is. But they ignored her thoroughly, and women are dying because of crazy women like Jackie who do not treat anyone who's not a celebrity. Why are you talking to the VP, talking about people that don't have the coin to have better services and who are relying on the government when you don't even treat those people? Jackie needs to get the F out of the show, and I hope that her lesbian lover Simone hold her feet to the fire too. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry. I had
It's
a
all
lot of rage when I
right.
heard
You
those
came in
comments.
and spoke your heart and spoke nothing but the truth. I mean, she said it. Her words are out there. The whole episode's out there. You did not lie. I can never get mad when you ain't lie. You didn't lie and you weren't disrespectful. You just simply said that ain't right and it ain't and it ain't. And as someone who's never been pregnant, I've never been pregnant, so I can never tell when my friends get pregnant, and I've had a few pregnant friends. I never tell them how they feel. I just try to help however I can and listen to, oh, I feel this way. I feel that way. I ask about the cravings. But you've never, like, I could almost see if you've been pregnant, you could say, okay, girl, because you have that knowledge, although you've never been pregnant as them, which still requires them to be listened to. However, you ain't never been pregnant and you saying who's crying wolf, but ain't never been pregnant. Ain't okay. All right. I guess I sure. That's just fascinating to me.
And even
Fascinating
heaven,
that you want
and
to tell
even
somebody how they feel when they pregnant and you ain't never been pregnant. I don't
exactly, and
know.
even
You
Heavenly had
know.
the common sense to say, "That's not me." All of that is Jackie talking. If you watch the live again, Heavenly disassociated herself from the ignorant mess that Jackie was doing during that live, and she said, "Oh, that she talks in that way like you can hardly understand something because sometimes those dentures they act up." But she did say that, "Oh, it's not me. It's not me. It's all Jackie that's doing the talk." And Jackie needs to apologize. It's radio silence on her too, by the way, on her Instagram because I've been falling to just drop a few hateful comments because she deserves it. But she's not apologized. And you were talking to the VP. Like, see, this is what Mariah Huck was talking about. There is the Jackie that people see, and there's the real Jackie that Curtis cheats on. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Thank you
We
guys.
are
Have
not tearing anybody down. We are simply talking on what she said. These are her words. These are her words. We're simply speaking on her words. A tear down is something totally different. But when you say something that out of line and that out of pocket and that emotionally unintelligent as a physician, this is literally what Black women have been jumping up and down and screaming about and dying because of. So no, this isn't a teardown. This is simply speaking on what you said, and you said what you said.
with your whole
Yeah.
chest. And you
Was
All
also
right.
speaking with
have
what,
to
your
Rish?
chest.
remember that
And said it and
Jackie,
said they just want to get out of work, not once but twice, like they
but
was working in your office, like
but
they was affected your check. And also,
remember, please remember how they shamed Toya, Mariah, and Quad for being doctors' wives and not having jobs. Like, she has always had a thing with women not working. She has always had a stank attitude with a woman who doesn't work.
and
They have,
Toya has 2 kids. That's work.
yes.
I tell you, work I wouldn't want to do. Work
Could,
I wouldn't want to deal with
do
two
you
kids for
think
2 hours.
do you think there may be some like resentment from like a psychological standpoint with women who get to stay home with their children, since I'm not trying to be shady,
I
since she
I
doesn't
do,
have that
and you're right.
experience?
You're
Maybe.
exactly right because at work there is a receptionist that we have who has a Jackie ass attitude. She found out that she couldn't have kids, and now she hates on everyone. It's just my work. I can't reveal what company I work for now. But this receptionist is hating on because two of our staff members are pregnant. And they'd be going for the math leave. And she just keeps on talking about how, oh, yeah, it's not fair to people that don't have kids. It's not fair to people that don't have kids. So I definitely think you hit the nail on the head, Richie. It's actually her being mad that she does not get the time off. And I just don't think as a physician you should have that kind of attitude about anyone. Because one of my friends, she actually did a her PhD about how black women or women of color are treated a bit differently. And this myth of them being stronger actually can cost them their life where you're told that you've got to be strong or people who have darker skin they even well her study was more about dermatology where dark skin needs actually more care but people get hyperpigmentation but a lot of times people think oh it's dark so like you can bear more or like your tolerance is a bit higher
I heard
so yeah
I saw something like this
Wait,
too.
wait. I want to answer Richie's question. I feel like I feel like Simone has made peace where Jackie hasn't. And also I do feel like Simone, maybe because she had the kids, she realized, oh, that stay at home life, girl, boom. I don't want, that's not for me. I feel that Jackie wanted both. She wanted to be able to be a Toya, but she really wanted to be Dr. Jackie and loves her career. I think that her career had to become more because she wasn't able to have children, but she was never able to really be at peace with trusting a man. And so I don't think that she's jealous of the Toya like having kids. I think she's jealous of Toya's ability to trust Eugene in a way she will never be able to trust Curtis.
Rish is like the funeral wife that pushes the mistress into the casket at the viewing.
Who?
That I said Rish. Rish's take on all of it reminds me of, since we're doing Quad's reburial. She reminds me of the bitter wife that pushes the mistress into the casket. Jackie on in with Quad, right?
Yes.
And understandably so, because like the bitter wife, maybe Quad was a bastard. And I think it's obvious. You know what I think it was? And you guys can tell me what you think. I think the fact that Quad refused to be humble and apologize just sealed
Yes.
the deal in the situation. There was no
yeah
Yes.
salvaging it.
It was
yes
when Quad
Regardless
did
of what you felt.
when she did that repass, it was still, I'm Quad, I'm the center of attention, I'm not, and then it was, are you ready to let go? And it was very much accusatory. It was very much,
mm,
I've never done anything, I need
playing the
you to let
victim
go. And so they let go, but they were like, wait, no, you've not taken accountability. And also, you don't have, like, I think they pride themselves on having genuine friendships, genuine relationships, or at least like trying. And I feel like Cone, Tessa, did try. I just feel like they allowed Hefferly to be so hateful, like all of them, where it was kind of mean girling because you can't be my friend, but then your best friend dogs me out every chance they get. Like, if you don't step up and say, no, no, stop talking about my friend like that. Talk about somebody else.
I also
Yeah.
wonder, because I haven't followed this super closely, but I do know that Heavenly has come out and was talking about Quad's behavior with production and the contract negotiations. Do we know if that's maybe why she jumped ship so fast when they were filming? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually mad at you. I'm not your friend, kind of thing.
I think it was more Heavenly felt used, and I think Heavenly realized, okay, none of these other girls like her. I'm gonna go on and side with these other girls because Heavenly wants a check. Heavenly is all about money. Heavenly will never open up her marriage or give us personal story. Heavenly uses her children as props rather than being open about her marriage like the rest of the ladies. That was shade, and meant to be taken as such. So Heavenly's all about her check. So I think she went along to get along. And as soon as being Quad's friend didn't suit her, she'll say, oh, we're friends. I'm her friend. Heavenly, you aren't anybody's friend because you will get online, tell their business, and talk about them like a dog. I'm surprised you haven't been shot or run over.
Yeah, I don't have much opinions on Heavenly. I think she's a low kind of person. I think I would not hang around with her personally, even if they paid me to. And I just think that Quad, honestly, you guys are so right that she got two chances to apologize, to tell the girls how she actually felt, but she goes into this theatrical mode when she does that whole Miss Quad, honey thing. She starts talking like I don't know
Right.
her voice
And she
there.
doesn't realize Mariah was the only one to like play that game with her. And, she stabbed Mariah in the back. Mariah's gone. And the other girls aren't here for that kind of, dog and pony show. It
Yeah,
doesn't work with the other girls.
exactly. It's weird when she just looks into the camera and the last line that she said, "Oh, if you've not seen a phoenix, you're looking at her." Then she was turning her head around. Alex was right. She needs a Tyler Perry movie. She's not made for reality TV. She cannot read. She's not quick with it like that, and she needs to find a little play and just have a role there. All right, guys, I will be logging off now. It was so nice to actually be able to express my opinions because this Jackie stuff I have to get off my chest. And I will, if I ever come to Atlanta again, I will see Jackie in person. I'll let her know exactly how I feel about her too. Yeah. So thank you guys, and have the live is so nice, and I'm so happy to be able to have made it here today. Thank you, Alex. I really love your show. I watch all episodes, and except for the Huntsville thing, I will not watch it. That show is boring. But thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah,
Anybody
you too.
else?
Happy holidays.
Anybody else who wants to shimmy on in, shimmy on in. We are saying goodbye to Miss Quad, and
Well,
apparently she ain't got it.
well, I also wanted to say back about Heavenly. I think when she felt replaced by Phaedra, that's what really like set her off and made her be like, F you, Quad.
Mm, that's
Because
an interesting point.
that seems like to me when she was on Carlos King, that's what really ticked her off. Because she said she kept bringing Quad back. It seemed like Heavenly was doing some producing, and she said that she ushered in Sweet Tea. Like she thought that would be a good storyline to keep Quad employed. To keep, she said
No,
Quad was on the
she
chopping block,
she
right?
thought that would be a good story because remember how nasty Heavenly is to Quad. Heavenly uses Quad like Quad uses Heavenly. That was a storyline that would keep Heavenly off Toya's back because Toya let her know you got one more time, bitch. You got one more motherfucking time, and I'm gonna get in that ass.
Wait to keep Heavenly off Toya's ass.
Yeah, Heavenly needed something that wasn't making fun of Toya. If you've noticed, Heavenly is steered really clear of Toya because Heavenly used to be on Toya like white on rice.
Yeah. Oh, Toya. This is like, I feel like Toya, when Quad accused Toya of the robbery thing, I thought that was like really like,
Low.
whoa. And then she doubled down on it. I said, wow. And this is like the ultimate payback for Toya. Toya got her ass good. Like, to become friends with Sweet Tea. I don't want to call her that. What is her name? Whatever her name is.
Letitia?
Tisha.
Isn't it Letitia?
Letitia. I'm not calling her Sweet Tea.
I believe.
T or Big T. To become friends with her and keep Dr. G around and bring her in the inner circle. And that's really what Quad is talking about when she says she's so hurt. You can't call
people thieves.
No, you cannot.
No, you can't. It was so stunty.
Especially as Black people, I'm sorry, that can mess up money. That is beyond foul. And I had a friend that worked in advertising, and he told me, and I can go on and tell this story now, because he don't work there no more. He told me he used to work with Coca-Cola, and he said that they were looking for somebody. They were launching a new line of drinks. They were going to hire Khalees because she did the whole cooking thing, so it was perfect. They could pair her foods with, and Coke's a big check. And Khalees has done like ads with Ford Fusion and whatnot. Like, she's done some big sponsorships. But because of the messy divorce with Nas, they said no and moved on to the next person. She was never even able to defend herself because that conversation happened when she wasn't even in the room. And so that's why when they get so upset about these accusations, they're like, you put this shit out, it ruins conversations that I can't even be in the room to defend myself.
And thank God it never picked up any real wings. They just kind of, dismissed it. Even how Fedra, Heavenly said, the Quad brought up the whole Angela Stanton thing. Alex, I swear, this morning I shared your Angela Stanton video. I was talking to my girlfriend about something. She did 8 years in the feds, and she knows somebody that was in that ring with Fedra. She didn't even know Phaedra's name, so I know she's not lying.
Girl, get me an interview.
Yes.
And I sent her an interview, and she was cracking up. So she's probably still asleep, but when she wakes up, I'll email you or whatever. But I swear I sent her your video on Angela Stanton this morning.
I might have to do a Taylor Swift remaster and revisit.
You're gonna have to, because you didn't read the whole book, right?
Well, no, I just read what was I skimmed the whole book. I read what was pertinent. What was pertinent. But I mean, I love that
there's a third person.
I love that Quad did say on Carlos King's show that Heavenly read Angela Stanton's book.
With the fact that Quad even brought that up on camera. Oh, and what about Phaedra fucking Dr. G? What do you think? Did she or did she not?
No, of course Phaedra fucked Dr. G. Come on. They were dating back in the day, and Phaedra's a hoe.
The head doctor. Ain't she the head doctor, or is that Nene?
No, Phaedra's the head doctor. If Nene was the head doctor, she'd have had a richer husband. Nene got a husband with that flicked twerk.
Hold on, guys.
I was just thinking about what you guys were saying about the thief thing. Can you imagine Eugene needing to get a new job to pay his taxes, and he has to explain to a hospital why there's rumors that he and his wife are involved in a home theft ring in a wealthy area?
Right. And the thing is, things like that do happen. So
And
I
there's
can
also just the look, there's also just the elitism of the medical community, which is, I think, big Jackie's downfall right now. You know what I mean? Jackie has this old school elitist attitude towards medicine that popped out and bit her in the butt because it was the exact opposite of what Kamala Harris was wanting to promote with that PR discussion that they had. That's why it just
and
looks
Jackie is definitely the textbook example of Black respectability politics.
right.
And I feel like you said, that is now beginning to come back and bite her in the bussy,
Mm,
because
yes, the little
we
tiny one she has.
we are now all woke enough, educated enough, where we now understand where that comes from, how it's rooted in, different types of misogyny and supremacy, where it's like, oh, okay, that was set up. These are systems of oppression. And part of that is Black women being accused of crying wolf. And exactly what you said is what Black women are afraid of, which is why you were talking to the vice president. So it's very shocking, and it's very, we've seen under your skirt. And who was it? Somebody said that people were going to see who Dr. Jackie was. Was that Mariah? Mariah kicked off the show, Hawk?
Oh,
And Mariah, oh my God. Mariah did an interview that I almost want to recap, but she's just so insufferable. Like, she's so insufferable, you can see why she's not on the show, because would you want to work with that?
yeah, she's real insufferable for an echoey ass set. I saw that interview. Did you hear how echoey that was? Like, it's like, lady, you show your low budge. Even though you try to act high class, low budge creeps on out.
I
But
mean, and then if it wasn't the damn echoey in that, it was the fire alarm in Quad's house.
oh my, yes, what is
For
happening?
all 3 hours of the interview, Carlos
How?
Cigarette King. I have a word I want to say so bad, but I can't say it. I got 2 words I want to say. I have a lot of words, actually. But, I'm trying to keep my page up, so I can't say them. But you can imagine the word I want to call him: that worthless, ignorant. And Quad, that's embarrassing for you too, because that was at your house. We saw at the beginning of the interview, Sissy King came over with a bottle of wine. And if that wasn't either of y'all's homes and y'all actually paid for that as some type of set, I would sue, because that interview is ruined. 3 hours. And also, why do your interviews have to be 3 hours when these people got 20 minutes of shit to say?
There's no justifiable reason that you didn't remedy that situation for 3 hours.
No,
Knowing that you have a
there is.
YouTube community.
There is a justifiable reason. And here's what it is. You're used to it. You are so used to it, you don't hear it anymore. And both of them, that means both of them, that's how they live. It's like when somebody sees a roach and they don't flinch and freak out, that means they got roaches at home. They grew up with roaches. They're their pets.
I guess that's why Brielle Bierman took a picture of them instead of run away from them.
Yep.
When she thought she saw them at Nini's house.
Bet you that's why that house won't sell.
Oh, no kidding. Ooh, bet you real comfortable with roaches now, Brielle.
Oh
my. Yeah, no, if you think about it.
I'm back.
And quiet as it's kept, Brielle, your mother is the queen roach. And she stayed heavy pregnant for years.
Oh my. That is the truth.
I mean, really, that's the only way I can look at Kim. She's built like a cockroach and stayed heavy pregnant. She seduced herself a drone.
That's a shame what
Oh,
she did to that man. That's a
That's
shame.
what Kim Zolciak did. Heavy pregnant. Heavy pregnant.
Just
that
And
barefoot.
poor
had a
man
litter.
lost his mind. He lost his mind in front of the cops. He straight up had a Steve Martin Parenthood freak out. He had a white man freak out.
Yep, because now you're stuck with your queen roach. She's blown all your money. You know she gonna get heavy pregnant again. And you've got like fresh from scratch babies to raise. I feel sorry for him, but he's not worth feeling sorry
So
for.
what do you think we have left with this season now that this has happened? Because I was here for a little bit of the drama with Greg and Sweet Tea coming back to get a little spice to the season, and I was glad that they got married early on and not later on, because I was like, please don't make their wedding like a storyline to carry the season. But now that we've had this, what's gonna happen? What do we think? Like storyline, drama, what?
I think it's going to be about Quad trying to get back into the group. I think now Carlos did say this in his interview with Dejanay, that he felt it was more production on a mission to get Quad off the show. I could see production having an axe to grind with Quad for those 5 weeks more than the girls. And so I think they'll try to maybe make Quad look bad, like they're making Robin look bad this season. Dr. Jackie will continue to give us nothing. Simone and Toya will follow their friendship a little bit. Hefferly will still be a demon. And I think they're going to try to get something out of Fedra and the new Heifer, but I think both of those storylines won't be flushed out in a cohesive or coherent way.
See, I think that we have Heavenly. Well, she's trying to play nice with T, but she doesn't like her. And then we have Simone. To me, Simone never really liked Toya. I just feel like, I mean, I guess she likes her now, but she was right with Jackie and shaming her for not having a job. And I know they think this whole wine thing is, they probably don't respect that either. There was one more beef brewing. You got Heavenly doesn't like sweet tea. My mind just went blank. Yeah, what are they gonna do without Quad? If I was Quad, I would have been all up in Dr. G's face. I'd have been like, "Hey, Dr. G," like every time he comes around. Are the alarm codes still the same? Oh, is that the watch I got you? Oh, do you still have the I would just keep doing all that kind of smart shit and just irritate the fuck out of Big T. She just I don't understand how Quad let this happen. Is she that much have that little self-awareness to not see what's going on?
Well, she didn't let it happen. Hefferly said they were phasing Quad out. So Hefferly thought this would be a great way to quote unquote bring Quad back. This was all Hefferly's doing. That's your friend. That's your friend. That's your friend. That's your friend. Please.
Well, you know what I keep thinking about too is the interview that Heavenly did. I think she did it with Carlos when they were reviewing the episode, and Heavenly was trying to chew Carlos out. She said that Quad was trying to, when she found out that Sweet Tea was coming back, she thought she had way more negotiating power because she thought, well, the two of us together is what the real TV is. And so she outed Quad for demanding more money or something, to the point where she was saying that production was mad with her. That's why she came on later, because she was trying to arm wrestle her contract. And then and then production kind of let it drop to the ladies that she was kind of demanding more than even some of them, and people got insulted. So then it was kind of like, you don't participate, we don't like you on camera, off camera you're trying to live and act like, yes, Heavenly said that Quad was saying that she's the lead of the show and all of this stuff. So I guess you really have to look at it as, it looked like Alex said, production was like, we're sick of you and your shenanigans, we're going to show you just how irrelevant you can be. And once they leaked kind of some of that information to the cast members, they were like, well, we don't even fuck with you like that anyway, because you don't participate, you're acting crazy, accusing us of all kinds of stupid rumors and all of these things. So the two of those combined are what got her voted off the island.
I agree. I think that production used the cast to do the dirty work, and
Right.
Simone had been ready to kick her off, because I remember,
Right.
haven't I always said, and Aaron, you are my witness, that Simone was the one that kicked Mariah off the show, that it was Simone that led the group and held the meetings when they were sick of Mariah and her antics. It was Simone who fired her. It was, she gave that turtle face. She reminds me, you remember the Neverending Story. She reminds me of that wise
Morla.
Let me look it up right now.
Or
Morla.
Orla. It's, yeah. Sorry, guys. Deep cut in the pop culture for y'all.
If that ain't Simone, y'all look up Morla. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. If that ain't Simone, all day, every day. But that's the same face Simone made, Giving Tree face. That's the same face Simone made when she said, Mariah, you are out of the group.
Yeah, I really do think, like I said, Heavenly has been so back and forth because she apologized to Quad over and over. And then when she was on doing the review with Carlos King right after the episode, she totally threw her under the bus about the way that she was supposedly behaving during contract negotiations for this season. So I don't really understand where Heavenly's ultimately trying to come from. And she was so mad at Carlos for interviewing Quad. And Carlos said,
Heavenly just wants ratings. Heavenly just wants her check. Heavenly knows that she's got production wrapped around her finger that they ain't never gonna put no business out with her and Damon. I think Damon has a mistress somewhere, allegedly, and she she probably cool with Heavenly. Heavenly probably cool with the mistress and has it set up to where won't nobody find out because Heavenly just don't want to be embarrassed. She probably lets her man cheat in peace. So I think Heavenly will do whatever and say whatever to keep ratings on the show and to stay on the show. So Heavenly will happily throw Quad under the bus because that's all she does. She threw how mean was she to Contessa? When she started her show, she was always putting Contessa's business out and always putting Toya's business out to the point where they don't mess with her anymore. I mean, Eugene even kind of Eugene said they were friends in real life, and he said they're the kind of friends that you look at, you're like, why are y'all doing this? He said that to me in person at BravoCon in front of people, so it ain't no secret.
You know, I think Heavenly is addicted to the fame too, because that's why it's like, even though her castmate said the things that you're saying and doing on YouTube are damaging your working relationship with us, you need to stop. She's like, no, I want the attention. Heavenly loves attention on top of that as well.
And I think that's why, she was willing to bring Sweet Tea on the show to throw Quad under the bus, because she's like, okay, I can't hurt these women anymore. Like, she shut up about Toya. Contessa left the show, so there's another punching bag you lost. Dr. Jackie Dr. Jackie would get with her. I feel like Dr. Jackie would slap the taste out her mouth. She's afraid of Dr. Jackie. I also feel like Dr. Jackie gives me a little bit of Phaedra tea, where she might have some friends on boards where you want to get recertified, you want to keep your clinic open, mess with me if you want to. So I
wonder
think
how many
Dr.
of those
Jackie
friends
has
would
that
do
kind of
that for her
power.
now.
Simone and
did.
Hefferly went at it, for a couple seasons, until Simone's like, I don't mess with you. I'm not getting into it with you. We've tried to, she realizes I can't really go at it with Simone. So I feel like Quad was an easy target, because Hefferly is a bully, a cruel,
Simone said, "This is
bully.
America, and I have
mean.
choices."
She's mean and violent.
That's true.
I mean, she said hit her head. She said she hit her husband in the head with the skillet. That qualifies as violent to me. And she said that. She said she did that. I'm not making that up. That's her words.
Did you see how Quad and Toya looked at each other? Speaking of violence, when they were sitting next to each other at the table, I think it was at the funeral home, when they were like about to fight, I guess.
Because Toya wasn't having it.
Right. So I don't know how Quad thought that these women were buying anything she was selling. Like, that was, I wish they would have showed us a little bit more of that, because Quad's face was like really crazy, and Toya is about it. We know that from season 1, with her and Mariah's mom.
Mariah's mom.
Toya will get with you.
Yes. So
and bring her Mifa.
She just needed to go. She's too fake. She doesn't like Toya. She doesn't, like she said, she only had a connection with Heavenly, and that was, frenemies, whatever kind of weird relationship they had going on. She didn't bring anything. She didn't bring anything really for the past couple of seasons. Like, at least show us you're dating somebody, or show us something. You're not showing us anything but just theatrics, and they're lame too. Like, it's time to go. But the real question is, can Phaedra pull the weight of Quad's weight? And I don't think that she can. I don't think Quad is like the star of the show, but I think the beef with Quad was a big storyline, or a big point of contention on the show. I don't see anything being else being that big. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm curious. Well, Sweet Tea is batshit. Okay, when she was screaming about the $13,000 and ready to fight her sister that night and ready to fight Heavenly, I think
she was screaming about the 13,000 because that's her whole season's check.
That's why the tags are still on the dresses.
Yeah. Me said that, me said that, me said that. Did it come and they send your butt home? Check is small, but the work is hard. Did it come and they send your ass home? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. Did it come and they send your ass home? The man is too a little for a little check. Did it come and you won't go home?
Maybe Sweet Tea can bring it,
I think I will see a second season with her. And honestly, the gag is Sweet Tea's interesting enough. And 2, we're also going to be seeing how long will this marriage last.
Maybe we'll get to see her bop Dr. Gregory, or Dr. Gregory bop her,
Like, well, I'm not going to say that. But
I
would say,
because they both go. She's showing a propensity toward violence.
There's a built-in level of divorce countdown where they could bring her back next season as a friend. They could bring her back next season full time. And then give her a third season as a friend of, just because we want to see, will that marriage last? Can that marriage make it 3 years? Because your first one couldn't. So there's also that. Barry, what are your goodbye thoughts to Miss Quad? Miss Quad, she got it, but she ain't got a job at Bravo no more.
I like Quad. I'm not a Married to Medicine fan, but I watched it religiously. And the one thing that I do say in my life, what I practice with my friends, is equality and equity. The energy you give to me is what I'm going to give to you. And unfairly, like, I think there's just a whole lot of hypocrisy going around because they're not friends. And people throw around the word accountability. Like, I can take accountability for stuff. That means if I did something, I'm saying I did it. That's taking ownership. That's what accountability means. That's not what they want from her. They want her to apologize and show remorse. But if she's not sorry for what she did, why should she apologize? Especially when they've all done ish to each other. And that's the thing that I don't like. If we both did wrong to each other, why am I the only one being told to apologize and own accountability for stuff? And why is Toya more mad at Quad instead of Carrie, the white lady who brought that rumor on the show? That's what I don't understand.
I do think you have a valid point of they just wanted her to be sorry. And Quad was like, well, hold up. And they were like, no, we don't. You have to break and bow and say you're sorry and be remorseful, like you said, regardless, because otherwise we are not going to keep you. And
but
we
then
have
you're
the majority.
Not friends. But when you do that, then you're not friends because you can't only tell me I have to apologize for what you think I did to you, but you've knowingly done this the same or worse to me, but then you won't acknowledge that. That's not a friendship, and that's not a sisterhood either. And to have her fly, no one can tell me that they didn't plan on doing that to her the moment she got there. So you made her fly her ass from Atlanta, Georgia, to California just to embarrass her on TV once, then go to her room and then kick her out to have her fly all the way back to Atlanta, Georgia. Come on. They did that on purpose. That's why it looked so bad. And I'm not even a Quad stan, but I'm just like, yo, y'all are grown women having like high school fights.
Do you think that if she had been simply sorry and remorseful, they would have kept her on? Or do you think they were planning to vote her off the island in the way that they did, no matter what she did?
They were planning on voting her off no matter what she did. Because here's my thing. If you're going to go constantly and say like, and Quad was right, she doesn't have an emotional connection to them. Heavenly can't go on TV and call her a hoe and say that she flies to Africa to look for African men every other week and have an emotional connection to someone. That's not a friend. You can't then be married to a man who admitted on TV that he abused you, and then the women think it's a cute and fun idea to then go and bring your abuser back and make friends with his wife and bring them to where you work and think that that's a sisterhood where I'm supposed to have an emotional connection with you. At the point they were plotting to bring Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg back on TV, because let's be clear, Bravo would never do that to a white woman. Bring a white woman whose husband admitted to physically putting his hands on her, taking the battery out of her car, putting their car in like high speed and saying they're going to kill them both. And then they divorce and then bring him back on the same show she's on and then have him get married and have him be a cast member. They would never do that to a white woman. But somehow we're okay as a community watching that happen to Quad and want to have a both sides of the argument kind of thing. They're not a sisterhood. Clearly, we saw what Dr. Jackie said. She's not in any sisterhood with anyone, let alone her community. So, like, what are we really talking about here? They look down on her the most.
Tell it, Barry.
I been here, told the truth, and shamed the devil. I wanted to bring up a pettier point, but I want y'all to get back to that bigger point after I bring up this petty point. Y'all went all the way to San Francisco, where I am, and you had to fire her here. You couldn't have fired her happy butt in Atlanta. I know you did not have me fly 6 hours out there. Wait, I'm sorry, 5.5 hours out there, 6.5 hours back because of headwinds. You could have done this shit in Atlanta. You gonna fire me on my day off, and I gotta come all the way out here to not enjoy the trip? Nah, fuck you. I'm getting the
2-hour drive from San Francisco to those vineyards anyway. I've done that trip. It's beautiful, but it's a long ass trip. That was a calculation. They wanted to embarrass her on TV, and they got their wish, or Toya got her wish. But like all of those women have embarrassed Toya. Heavenly was like, she doesn't have a career. She
now you see, if it was I could now you called me a thief. You say I'm in some type of housing ring, and then even when Quad on her little interview with Carlos King, she said, "I don't see Eugene scaling walls."
But they
I
see
don't
Toya
see
selling her
Eugene
cat for some
scaling walls.
marble countertops. But they see
And
Quad selling her cat for some marble countertops, right? Okay, because we're not going to
but
pretend like
also, but that was a fat dig.
Huh? How was that a fat dig? That was trying to say
No. Quad saying, "I don't see Eugene scaling walls." That was a body. That was a built dig. That was a he's too like. That was a picture him scaling walls. Yeah, you couldn't either. That was shade. That was shade. That was sissy shade. Quad is a bitter gay man. You see, Quad wants to be a top, but she's a bottom, and then she's a woman on top of it.
Oh God.
It's 3 confused identities.
That's true. That explains Greg.
Oh God.
Exactly. She wanted to marry a bottom, a providing bottom, and that's Greg all day and all night. All day and all night, that is
But
Greg.
was he really providing that great though?
Quad is a gay man in a woman's body and a bottom who wants to be a top.
I mean, that's why they have men who are verse.
No, she wants to be a top. She doesn't know how to embrace her versatility. She doesn't know how to embrace her vagina. Like yes. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it at her repass. Here lies a wannabe top. I mean, she acts more gay than I do. She is one of the girls.
I mean, but we all know there's something different about Atlanta gays, and that's the identity that she's adopted. There's something about Black women who've adopted the Atlanta gay identity, like Nene and her and Mariah, who literally sound like walking, talking cliches, but with boobs and vaginas. We all know what that sounds like.
None of us sound like that. None of my actual gay friends that are in the community that volunteer that are like, I lived in New York and San Francisco. None of us sound like that.
Yeah, it's an Atlanta gay thing. I don't know what it is either. I live in New York. I don't have any gay friends who sound like that.
I've hung with some of the RuPaul's Drag Race girls. Oh my God, I have to tell Maddie a story. But none of them talk like that.
But if that's her personality, that's her personality. And if that's what made her entertaining for people to watch and the other class got mad at it, that's on them. If it's supposed to be an entertaining show and you're more mad that she became the, I guess, breakout star, whatever that means to the people who watch that show, then that's on you. Everyone can't be the same breakout star. Everyone can't be the most popular on a TV show. And I think most of this Quad dynamic comes down to there was a bit of jealousy. I mean, there was a part in a reunion, they were getting mad at her for buying a house. Not with their money. Simone was like, well, I would never want to keep up with the Joneses. No one asked you to keep up with the Joneses and no one was asking you to pay for it. Why are you mad that this girl bought a house with her own money by herself? It was none of her business, but she made it a thing. The thing is, they didn't like her seeing her be successful without Greg, and then they're all bitter and stuck with their marriages that they're all unhappy in. Simone and Cecil, their marriage, I'm sorry, it's terrible. Dr. Jackie got cheated on for the whole world to see. Toya's in a financial, dealing with financial infidelity on her part because she keeps blowing through her husband's money, and the only relationship she has is with the IRS and movers.
Oh.
Every year she moved to a new house. And they have parties to pay off their taxes and their debt. But we want to celebrate that. Come on. But the girl buys her own house with her own money, and somehow she's trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's a waste of money. It's too much house for one person. I'm just like, why do you care? Why is that not something to celebrate, that someone bought their own house of their dreams and made it the way they wanted? But it has to be a source of contention. That's weird. That friends don't do that. They're not friends. And even Toya said on the show recently, oh, we haven't been the four of us together, and we haven't all been around each other like this in like 4 years. We all live in the same city and haven't gotten together in 4 years. And I'm supposed to believe this is a real friendship and a real sisterhood that Quad has somehow opted herself out of to not be a part of. I'm like, I don't go 4 years without seeing my friends. Hell, even my friends who live in Brooklyn, I'll take at least a train ride once every 8 months to go out there.
That's love.
I said once every 8 months. That's about as good. And never on a weekend. But like, yo, they're not friends like that. It's all hypocritical. So I'm sorry, but like Quad has her faults. Yes, she's not perfect. She's done some shady shit, but they've all done shady shit to each other. But why is what she's done worse than what they've done? That's what I don't understand. Why is she the pariah and they're not equally like at fault for like the dynamic of where their relationship is? And I'm tired of hearing about Sister Circle. That is so obnoxious. Like, why do doctors who are saving lives and all this prestige that they're supposed to have care about the person who they thought was on the bottom rung getting a basic access cable show where she felt good at her job? Because no one was watching Sister Circle on ABC or Fox. No one cared. But they made it an issue. Why is that? Because
Dang, Alex, I feel like...
Yes.
I was just going to say, dang, Alex, I feel like we literally got both sides here. Like, I feel compelled argument. You know what I mean? Like, wow. If I were in a jury, I would be...
For real. That was good.
Not know what the hell.
But like, think if those were your friends. That's how I always picture it. Was like, if those were my friends doing that to me, then we were never friends to begin with. Because unless I dislike you and you've done something to me where I could ultimately never forgive you, I would just phase myself out of your life completely. Would I then want to go and get retribution against you? No. But like, I can't ever say that I was friends with someone or someone was friends with me and then them do those things to me and then be okay with it. Like, it's awkward to watch like grown women with careers who are supposed to be doctors doing this spiteful, vindictive-ish, and then think it's entertaining. It's not. It's low-key bullying from like middle-aged Black women.
Well.
And again, for all the people in the comments, I'm not a Quad stan. I don't even know what her last name is. But just objectively watching and like how these women are handling it, it's messed up. That is not to say Quad doesn't own some responsibility for the dynamic of their relationships, but this is not everyone's at fault here. There's percentages involved in here, but like other people need to own up to their issue, and if they don't feel like they have to apologize, why should Quad?
I always try to remember, especially because of the length of time that this show has been on, and I think that's why franchises like Atlanta and New York were struggling as well, is that these ladies have been doing this professionally long enough that it's no longer just about a friendship. It's also about business, opportunities, what's on and off camera, and I think that all of those things go into play. But I think that, Barry, you brought up an excellent illustration of what the storyline they're presenting to us is.
Yeah, I mean, none of these women on any of these Bravo shows are ever really friends unless they cast two people who already like knew each other and had a friendship. But that would only apply to Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. Like, I can't take Heavenly seriously because for whatever reason, she fangirls for Dr. Jackie. And I think it's because of the power and the influence that Dr. Jackie holds that Heavenly like sucks up to her brown noses so much. But I'm just like,
yeah,
it's a weird. It's almost like she worships her. That's the only positive like relationship I see, because I don't think Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie really like each other all that much after the years they've been on the show. Not really.
That is very true, but we have come to the end of our hour and of our repass. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And this has been a very interesting hour. I'd like to close it off with, what goodbyes would y'all like to say to Miss Quad?
Goodbye, Quad. Hope to see you on another show. At least you'll be taking Dr. Dacky and her career with her.
Farewell for now, Quad. We'll see you when they dig you back up for another season because they need you.
I feel like, Quad, we'll see you soon on WeTV as Quad Braxton. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.